Okay, welcome everyone and folks here in our Zoom room, and welcome to you who are practicing with us whenever you are on the YouTube channel. Thanks for dropping in. Tomorrow, in the Northern Hemisphere, I think probably 5:10 a.m. or something. I didn't look at the official time. Uh, just letting folks into the room here. Um, Tomorrow is spring equinox, and these are turnings of the wheel that resonate for me more so than Hallmark holidays, I'll call them, or Judeo-Christian traditions. These earth-based celebrations that I think are ancient and universal, where in different forms, the equinoxes and solstices and moon cycles and tides and weather and hibernations and blooming. These are things that through, I think, all traditions around the world at some point were honored and celebrated, and rituals and dances and feasts and etc. And so here's one which is upon us. And maybe it's because the world is in such despair and decline, I feel even more inclined to pay attention to the changes in this season and the joy that they bring. Uh, so tonight I want to talk about joy. And a lot of the um, inspiration from this comes from an article of a book that I'm sharing the link down below by Christina Feldman, a Dharma teacher, and William Kuyken. Sorry, William, if I've said that incorrectly. Kuyken. Mindfulness, Ancient Wisdom Meets Modern Psychology. It's not a book I've read, but I read an article from it that inspired this talk. So giving cred to where it's due. Well, the credit goes to the Dharma actually and to the Buddha, but they've compiled some thoughts that were inspiring. So as you may already likely know, we have a group of practices called the Four Brahma Viharas, which is sometimes translated as the abodes or the divine abodes of the heart. These practices that cultivate awakening and untethering and connecting heart mind with ourselves and with each other and with the world. And so the first one you may be familiar with is metta bhavana. And this can be described as befriending. So we use this to befriend ourselves and whatever is arising and passing, and befriending each other, and cultivating relationships that are less judgmental, truly. The second Brahma Vihara is the karuna or compassion cultivation, where love, this friendliness, is meets suffering and responds to the suffering that it meets in the world. The third Brahma Vihara is mudita, or resonant or harmonic joy. And this is the quality of joy that, well, that some of us were just sharing and feeling for a friend of ours here in the Sangha that's getting a leave from work and going on a long retreat. And it's just instantly like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. That joy quality where we allow our heart to be touched by the good, the good news that others are sharing. and we hope that that expands and continues and deepens and yeah, wonderful. And then the fourth, Brahmavihara, heart abode meditation practice, is equanimity or upekkha in Pali. And this is also very much needed at this time and all times, but cultivating our capacity to be in the midst of the storms of life, the ups and downs, the gain and loss, the praise and blame, uh, pleasant and unpleasant, etc. This quality of joy also shows up. So here in the Brahma Viharas, it's called mudita, but joy also shows up a lot in the Dharma in another quality that's called piti, Piti, and it's one of the seven factors of awakening. It's a natural arising from other factors that we cultivate, like mindfulness and curiosity, which bring energy, which then um, expands and saturates into this quality of piti. And it's described as joy, delight, rapture, and suffusing joy, where it permeates, it fills and surrounds our awareness. In the seven factors of awakening, that quality, so these qualities are all kind of having a rising, uplifting energy, uh, mindfulness and curiosity, giving energy, which then suffuses, and this quality of rapture where our attention is wrapped with whatever the object is. Um, And then these level off kind of and stabilize into calm, and then concentration and equanimity. These are the seven factors. And so tonight is a little bit of a mashup of both of these, piti and mudita. These both, an exploration of both of these types of joy. Mm. Uh, these Brahmaviharas and also the seven factors are considered to be part of our potential, part of our nature that we can cultivate, and also seen as capacities of the every human mind has the capacity and the potential to grow and cultivate and stabilize and look for these qualities. And as I mentioned, particularly when we're in times of great distress, personally, globally, interconnectedly, in our communities, environmentally. Uh, these heart abode qualities can disappear when we need them most because we can easily be overcome with fear and distress and overwhelm and um, grief. Uh, etc. And just surviving. And the times when what is really fueled and given a lot of airtime and maybe a lot of space in our mind and in our words that we're our communications with others. Uh, there is a tendency for a lot of comparing and judging and prejudice, um, demeaning others, and these are all quite opposite of the Brahma Viharas. So it takes quite an intention to set these qualities to the fore and to look for them and cultivate them. And so that's what we're doing tonight. Hmm. One of the aspects of part of the definition of this quality of mudita is a gladness of the heart, gladdening or gladness of the heart, soft-heartedness, and it's also an attitude of mind. So in the Dharma, there's a word chitta, Citta, which is understood to be heart mind, the aware heart that less of a separation of this is mind and this is heart, but heart mind, the aware heart. And so it's an attitude of mind that is a gladdening of the heart at the same time. It's this practice cultivates appreciation, attention, contentment, and gratitude is kind of a companion practice, a very close companion with the practice of mudita. And all of these create the conditions and the container and the tendency towards awareness of our interconnectedness and our intentions for harmony and coming together skillfully. So these can really counteract the tendencies of these uh, harmful and painful times that we're in globally. The Brahma Viharas, all four of the Brahma Vihara meditation practices have what's called near enemies and far enemies. The far enemy is the whatever is its opposite. So in this case, this quality of harmonic or resonant joy, the opposite of that would be envy, jealousy, resentment. You know, instead of celebrating this wonderful news from our friend in the Sangha would be to the first reaction or some thought somewhere down the line, well, why not me? I want to go. Why can't I go? Instead of just like, that is so fabulous. Um, and another aspect is sometimes when it's really, really off kilter, there can even be pleasure in someone else's misfortune, which is a complete flip of the quality of mudita, of course. Um, you know, and we might think, oh, that's really, I would never. But if it's someone that we kind of some figure that maybe we don't know personally, or someone we've had some conflict with, or somebody we don't know, yes, yes, I can relate to that right now with certain cars that are being targeted and certain trucks that are, you know, being damaged. And it's like, oh, cool. And I can, you know, there's that tendency that's been fueled by what I've been paying attention to, but it's not how I want my heart mind to be, fueled with pleasure at someone else's misfortune, regardless of what I feel about the harm they're causing in the world. It's not what I want to cultivate in my heart. So I'm paying attention to that. Um, the far enemy can also include just indifference. So we don't really let ourselves feel the joy in the world and others' joy, kind of like, yeah, whatever, not allowing ourselves to celebrate that. Um, kind of a quality of boredom or detachment. So that's the far enemy of this mudita joy. And then the near enemy is super interesting. I think that it's something that seems like it. It's very close. It can be harder to notice, because it's easy to misconstrue it or kind of confuse ourselves that that's joy. And the near enemy of this skillful quality of joy is exuberance. When we kind of keep wanting to ride that high and we get more and more unskillful when that happens. We're just looking to fuel kind of this uplifting quality, and then it goes past that place of calm that I mentioned in the seven factors of awakening after this quality of piti, which is actually has a real peaceful aspect to it. There's an uplifting energy, but it's like rapture. It's like a beautiful sunset or a symphony or a scene in nature where the attention is just wrapped and uh, bright, but it's not exuberant. And then this levels off into calm, which yeah, continues. And but if we kind of get hooked on the joy energy and attached, clinging to it, then it can keep climbing into exuberance. I remember when my one of my teachers was talking about exuberance, and I was like, "What's up with that? What's your problem? Why can't I just feel more joy? What's wrong with that?" I can still remember thinking that, feeling that, like, what could be wrong with that? And, as I continue to practice and inquire with it and watch myself and how, yes, this does lead to unskillfulness, I could see it for myself. So if you feel that response, just check it out in your own experience and watch what happens as exuberance starts to take over and see if you start to say and do and behave in ways that are not skillful. Let's see. Capacity, yeah. So this quality that of joy, again, it has this a calmness to it, a contentment, uh, appreciation, gratitude is a companion often. So it's not necessarily just riding a high. And this is a beautiful quote from this book that I mentioned, Christina Feldman and William Kuiken. They say, it takes only a small step of mindful wholeheartedness to enjoy a piece of music. Notice the stars in the sky, the sunlight glistening on the leaves, the people we love around us, a good meal, or all that is right in our bodies in any given moment. These moments are available all the time. And this is really why I wanted to talk about joy tonight, because of this spring equinox and like it's beautiful weather and temperature here lately. And even just watching the dogs are so happy just to sit on the porch and just be in the sun. And so grateful to see and feel the sun and to watch. The little buds are already starting to come up. They're um, the shoots are starting to come, and the critters are coming around the bird feeders more, and all of these simple, wonderful joys. Yeah. Um, and it's yeah, so it's these small, that's not even the right word, but these, things that we can take for granted, these mundane things of seeing the moon, seeing the stars, seeing the space around the stars, the space around the leaves. And this takes intention to turn our awareness towards these qualities, especially when there's a lot of um, pain and suffering happening. Uh, so if you're feeling heaviness and overwhelm and grief uh, and what any version of that, you might put some reminders for yourself to that will help you look for and cultivate these qualities of piti and mudita, of this sweet joy quality, because it's not going to probably come knocking at our doors. We do need to look for it. So, tomorrow being spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, you might like to, if you don't have an altar, then to set up a little table and get some spring blossoms, or um, bring in some elements from outside, put some art, some photos that inspire you and brighten your heart. And these qualities are contagious as well, that what we how we interact with others has an impact. And it's not we're not looking to be spiritually bypassing and burying our heads in the sand, of like everything's fine and just so much love and white light and butterflies, but acknowledging how things are, and at the same time letting ourselves see and notice and pay attention to. I love this sentence of here, all that is good in all that is right in our bodies in any given moment. That's so lovely, because we all at different times are experiencing things that are not well, or we have illness or pain, and to also look to and acknowledge, like what Thich Nhat Hanh says, like the non-toothache. We only notice a toothache when we have a toothache, but do we notice when we don't have a toothache? Um, yeah. Hmm. Looking for the small moments of generosity that we can either give or receive to others, like be small and holding a door or sharing something with someone, uh, a smile, attention. Yeah, these are big, important things. All right. So, and I'll also share this poem as we come into our practice, and I'll probably read it twice, maybe when it's at the beginning and once at the end. So let's get ready for our meditation practice. Hmm. Taking time to adjust the body and see if you need any other movement or stretch as you settle into your posture. Allowing this caring, befriending quality to come into and around and through this body in this moment, and see if there's any tension that needs some softening, space, release, kindness. Relaxing tension in the face, in the neck and shoulders. Checking areas of tension in habit places for you. Is it in the belly, the hands, the jaw? See if just some kind awareness can come suffuse that tension, and maybe it softens or releases a little bit. As this spring is evoking this sense of thawing our hearts, thawing our tension, warming the heart, and sending our roots a little deeper down. So let's take some time to connect to the sensations of the ground right now. And then I'll offer this poem from Joe Paddock. The link is down below after the meditation. It's called One's Ship Comes In. I swear my way now will be to continue without plan or hope, to accept the drift of things, to shift from endless effort to joy in, say, that robin plunging into the mossy shallows of my bird bath and splashing madly till the air shines with spray. Joy it will be, say, in Nancy, pretty in pink and rumpled t-shirt, rubbing sleep from her eyes. Or joy, even in just this breathing, free of fright and clutch, knowing how one's ship comes in with each breath. Joy in even just this breathing, free of fright and clutch, knowing how one's ship comes in with each such breath. Cultivate our gladdening of the heart. We might reflect on all that has gone well for you today. Could be these simple things of our ability to move through the world in to whatever degree. Hopefully we've had nourishing food and safe and warm shelter, ability to care for yourself. Perhaps you were able to be in nature today, to feel the sun, see the trees, the sky. Perhaps there were small moments of generosity that you were either able to give or receive from others. Some presence with someone, a smile, a kind attention. Being ourselves out of autopilot to notice all that is well in our world or in our bodies, in our environment. These moments that are available all the time. Give some attention to them now and feel it in the body, heart, mind, how it gladdens and uplifts and brings a sense of connection. And as you allow these qualities to come into awareness, inviting this to suffuse the body, to suffuse the awareness, saturate and spread. Bring in this Brahmavihara cultivation of mudita. And in this meditation, we begin with someone who we care about, someone that it's easy for us to rejoice with, even though there's times when they are experiencing difficulty. Um, think of somebody whose they've had a good day, or something has gone well, or they've experienced some ease or release from suffering. Whatever good fortune or happiness of theirs that comes into your awareness, then we invite this phrase with the emphasis on the sensation, letting the words just be 2%, but more about the feeling in your heart body. May your happiness and good fortune continue. May this joy not depart. May your well-being and happiness expand. May this goodness become stable. Now we'll invite into awareness um, someone who has been a benefactor to you, a teacher, a guide, a mentor. Could be an animal being. It could be a teacher you're inspired by or you've read their works. And likewise, we hope that anything that is beneficial and joyous and cultivating happiness for them, may this happiness continue. May your good fortune stabilize or deepen. May this joy expand for you. And now inviting into awareness someone that is more neutral to you, that you don't have a strong like or dislike for, someone that you might see fairly regularly, kind of passing by, or they might be in your neighborhood or in a shop or an attendant at a gas station or a checkout person that you can kind of picture them. You see them fairly often, but you don't have a strong relationship with them. And know that they too experience times of suffering and times of joy and well being. And feeling the sensation in your own heart and mind and body, cultivate this wish for them. May your happiness continue. May your good fortune deepen. May your joy expand. Inviting into awareness someone that is, there's some lack of resolve or some difficulty or confusion with something where it feels a little bit sticky in the relationship. Try not to choose the most difficult person that you can think of, but where there's just some unrest or unresolved. And then we cultivate in heartful awareness that we also wish this person some ease, some deepening of anything good that's coming their way. If it's someone who's already suffering a great deal, can we wish for just an opening for a change in their circumstance or something that will bring them some ease and peace? And in your own words, in your heart, may the happiness arrive for you. May you notice joy or gratitude. Return to awareness of your own heart, body, mind, life in this moment. Connect again to reflections and remembering of generosity and gratitude and delight in the goodness within you, delight in happiness and joy that has come your way. feeling this positive and uplifting energy, intention, and cultivation. Turning our attention to what is balancing and skillful and joyful. And as the poem said, the robin plunging into the mossy shallows of the bird bath and splashing madly till the air shines with spray. Or joy even in just this breathing, free of fright and clutch, knowing how one ship comes in with each such breath. And we offer this uplifting energy, any merit or benefits from this cultivation of these skillful qualities. May the merit of this practice be shared with all beings, so that all beings may be liberated and free from suffering. Mm. Practice, and if it feels like it will be a helpful balancing quality for you, particularly at this time or any time, uh, maybe put some reminders so that the attention will be drawn to these qualities, particularly in light of this spring equinox, but anytime. It's always good. Not harmful. Yeah, thanks for practicing with us, and check the links below in the YouTube and here in the Zoom chat for that poem and the book that was referenced. Hope to see you again.